Hello YouTube, I am back. This is Miss Jazzy VSG coming back to do another video to kind of highlight and tell you more about my surgery experience. Kind of focus more on surgery day, right before surgery and right after surgery. Again, I was sleeved on August the 31st, 2016. My highest weight was 360 pounds. Surgery pre-op diet, surgery weight was 276 pounds. Surgery date 262 pounds. I am now 219 pounds and still going down. Now, the 2 weeks before I had surgery, I was put on a liquid diet, which consists of basically protein, water, Crystal Light, Jello, sugar-free, and soups. During the pre-op diet, I did do a lot of protein shakes. I did yogurt. I did applesauce. I did, unsweetened applesauce. The thing that helped me with my condensed soups, I tried cream of shrimp, cream of chicken, cream of celery, and cream of mushroom. The one that worked best for me and my taste was the cream of mushroom. So of course with the condensed soup, I would put in the condensed soup, can of water, and I would blend it. But with cream of mushroom, they do have those chunks in it, so I would have to sifter or filter out the chunks of mushrooms. But that was my go-to. That was my favorite. For the protein shakes, I'll show you guys my protein that I use. I tried a couple of different ones, but not all of them worked for me, and I didn't like the way that they taste, or I didn't like the way that they blended, because they didn't blend well in my opinion. But the protein powder that I used then and I still use now is the pure protein with 23 grams of protein per scoop. And one scoop was 6 to 8 ounces of water or milk. I use half almond milk unsweetened and also water with my protein shakes, just because it tastes better to me. I had French vanilla chocolate, and there was also a caramel flavor that I found in Walmart, which was already pre-mixed. It was really good, but it was really sweet. I couldn't tolerate it that well after surgery. So with the pre-op diet, I did lose weight. It was very hard because I didn't realize that I had a food addiction. Like, I went through all the pre-op things with the counseling, with the nutritionist, and all of the things like that, but it didn't hit me until I went through the pre-op diet and I couldn't have what I wanted to eat. Like, I was going through and I would see restaurants, people would bring food to lunch. My job would have a potluck or something, but I couldn't have any of that. And that was when I realized I had a food addiction. So I had to deal with that and deal with that fast because, I was getting ready to have surgery within the next 2 weeks. So the pre-op diet did go smoothly. I did mess up like twice, and I just broke down like, oh my gosh, I have to eat something, because I missed chewing. It was like I was drinking everything and I missed actually chewing and having something. So, but nonetheless, on the times when I did mess up, it hit me because, dang, I was like, you don't have any self-control. Like, you don't have any self-control. You really need to do something about that. But I dealt with it, and the next day I got back right back on the wagon and right back where I was supposed to be with the liquid diet. So I had surgery. My surgeon was very satisfied with the weight that I lost with the pre-op diet. He was satisfied with how my blood work came back from my pre-op clearance. And again, my general practitioner did write me a letter of medical necessity, So everything was good to go, and I was having surgery. Now, the guy that I was dating, he had to work. He was not able to come to surgery with me, so I was preparing to go to surgery by myself. I had my mom drive me to the hospital, and I was thinking that she was just going to go and do what she had to do because she had some things that she had to do that day. And she had told me that she wasn't going to be there for surgery. So I wake up, like the night before, I was a nervous wreck. Like, I'm not sure why I was nervous. I think that the fact that it was hitting me. Like, you're really getting ready to have surgery tomorrow morning. So I was up that night. I was cleaning. I was taking pictures of myself. I wrote to myself, like, you're getting ready to start this journey. Some days are going to be easier than others. Some days are going to be harder than others. But at the end of the day, as long as you put your best foot forward, that's all you can do. And I went to sleep. I got a few hours of sleep, and then I woke up for surgery. The day of surgery, I did take a lot of pictures of myself just because I wanted to be able to track and see, like, maybe when the scale isn't moving, that I could see how my body was changing. So I took a lot of pictures. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to show them, because I did take some where I was completely naked. And of course, I would blur that part out. But, I wanted to see, whenever I was researching, it looks like people just show, like, what I see here and all that. But no, I wanted to see, people's progress who looked like me, people who had the big boobs, the big belly, the thighs, and all of that. I wanted to see their before pictures and see their after pictures and compare myself to them. So that's the reason why I took the pictures. I'll probably show them, I don't know when, but I'll probably show them to you guys sometime. So the morning of surgery, I did take those pictures, and my mom did drive me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, of course, they signed in, did all the stuff, confirmed my identity, and they came out, they told my mom what would happen. And they took me back, they prepared me and prepped me for surgery. Of course, they had to put on a hospital gown and put my hair up, and she cleaned my stomach with some kind of stuff and all the other stuff. Then they called my mom back. My surgeon came in and talked to me. He told me that he was running a little behind, but we were still on schedule to have the surgery today. He talked to my mom, asked her if she had any questions. And then my anesthesiologist came in and put my IV in, and she said, I'm going to give you something this is going to make you feel real good. So she started my IV, and, I didn't really notice any major changes in me. I just felt like I was sleepy. And then the guy that I was dating, he had just got out work, and he was like, are you in surgery? I was like, no, I'm just waiting. They're going to roll me back any minute. And he was like, well, I hope everything goes well. He FaceTimed me, and I was like, well, this is where I'm at. I'll call you, text you, or something whenever I get out of surgery. And that was that. So they came in and they rolled me back to the surgery in the operating room. And I was just looking around, and they were all in their zone doing what they were doing. I had surgical techs over there scrubbing in. I had the anesthesiologist in the room. I had people, they were like, get on the surgery table. And I'm thinking they was like, no, get over there. So I got on the surgery table and I laid down. And then my surgeon, he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like, well, here we go. And then the anesthesiologist, I remember her putting the mask over my face, and I looked up at the ceiling, and I don't remember anything after that. I was asleep. I woke up in recovery, and I just remember I was mad at this one nurse. Like, I wasn't in, like, significant amount of pain or anything like that, but it was still pain because I just had surgery. But this one nurse, like, she seemed like she was so mad. Like, she was one of those older nurses who was mad that she was still working there. She was talking about how she was getting ready to retire, but she was so rough. And I was like, Miss Ma'am, could you please stop? Because she was trying to hook up the thing to monitor my heart. But there was a defect in the actual machine that she had. It wasn't that she had hooked it up wrong. And she was under the impression that she hooked it up wrong. So she's pushing all on my stomach and near my stomach to get them where they need to be. And I'm like, ow, that hurts, lady. But that was the only bad thing that happened to me. But that wasn't the fault of the surgeon. That wasn't the fault of anybody. It was just that one particular nurse. I wish that she was a little more gentle when she was trying to hook me up to monitor my heart, because that hurt. But other than that, I woke up in recovery. They talked to me. They had me confirm. They're like, do you know where you at? Do you know what just happened? I was like, yeah, I confirmed everything. They were like, well, just rest. We're just getting your room ready so that you can go and be on your own. Because there was this man who was beside me who was snoring so loud that I couldn't get no sleep. I was trying to go back to sleep because I was still had a little bit of anesthesia going through my system, but I couldn't get no sleep because he was snoring so loud. And then there was another lady who was upset about something, so she was yelling in the recovery room. But once I got to my room, I was fine. And when I got to my room, I was like, where's my mom? Like, where is she? Like, I wanted my mom. And then they were like, well, she left. And I was like, okay, cool. Where's my cell phone? They was like, I don't know. Your mom had everything. I was like, what you mean? My mom took my cell phone because she wanted me to get some rest. And I was upset about that. But I can understand why she did it. Another thing, when I woke up, my mouth was so dry. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced thirst the way that I experienced thirst that day. And I was like, can I have some ice chips? Can I have some water? Can I have something? And they was like, no, we have to get the okay from your doctor first. And I was like, okay, can you tell him to come in here and do it? Because I am so thirsty right now. So my surgeon came in and he was like, let me take a look at your incisions. He looked, he was like, those are fine. They look good. You did well. You did great. This is what I need you to do. We're going to keep you for observation tonight. And then I'm not going to be here because I'm going to be at another hospital doing some more surgery tomorrow. So my nurse practitioner is going to be here and it's going to be up to her to discharge you. And he said, for the first few hours, then I'm going to give you ice cubes. If you can tolerate that, then we're going to move on to water. If you can tolerate that, we're going to move you on to protein shakes. He was like, if you can, get up, walk around, and as long as you can tolerate everything and we can see that you can move and you're able to kind of do everything yourself, then we'll let you go home tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. I was like, okay, well, bet. So, my nurses came in that night and they started me on the ice chips, and I got them ice chips down so fast because I was so thirsty, for one, and because the cool sensation in my mouth just made me feel better. Whenever it came time for me to get up and use the bathroom, my nurse was like, do you need a bedpan? I was like, no, ma'am, I don't. The only thing I need you to do is give me your hand so that I can use yourself to pull myself up, and I'll walk to the bathroom because the bathroom wasn't that far from my bed. So I got up and I walked, and she was surprised. She was like, I had someone have the same surgery yesterday and they weren't even able to roll over on the bed. So you're doing great. So I got back in the bed and I tolerated water. They put on the board like how much they wanted me to be able to drink and to tolerate. So I knew the plan. So I was working on that, constantly. It was hard to get things down because I just had surgery. My stomach was swollen, but I was able to tolerate it and get it down. They would also come in and give me a blood thinning shot so I wouldn't have any blood clots in my stomach, like once every 2 hours, maybe. I can't remember the exact duration, but I know it was a lot. Also that night, I got up like 11 or so and kind of walked around the hospital, like walked around the spot where I was at. I walked around there a few times. So I was pretty good. It was a pretty good surgery, pretty good recovery. The next day, the nurse practitioner came in and she was like, well, were you able to tolerate it? And she looked and I was like, yes. She was like, are you ready to go home? I said, absolutely. So I called my mom to come back to pick me up. For the observation care, I didn't take much to the hospital because I knew I wasn't going to be there long. I took like just the basic stuff. I took a book bag because of the clothes that I wore in there and some clothes that I wanted to leave in the hospital with, because of course they give you the hospital gown and the hospital socks, so you don't really need anything while you're there. But coming, I had on like a light dress and some flip-flops, and then leaving I had a big baggy shirt, like a pajama shirt, because it was real thin, real light. I didn't want anything heavy on my stomach because I knew I was going to have those incisions. And I had a pair of like tights on and some flip-flops. I also took like the bare necessity stuff like deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, brush, comb, things like that, just to keep myself and look presentable. But other than that, I didn't take too much to the hospital with me because I knew I wasn't going to need it. When I got home, as you can probably see in my previous videos, I was on my couch lounging a lot. Just because it was easier, because I do have to climb up and down stairs. So I chose not to do that. I chose to just lounge around on my couch. I did have people around me who was kind of like waiting on me because they knew I just had surgery, but I don't think I was too bad. I talked to my surgeon. He was like, of course, I want you to get in X amount of protein, X amount of liquid in a day. Those first couple of days, it was so hard for me to get my protein in. Like, I don't think I met my protein mark for at least a week, because one of the 6-ounce protein shakes that I could usually drink within like 5 minutes literally took me like 2 hours. Like, one protein shake that was like 6 ounces would take me 2 hours to drink it. Then I had to alternate in between drinking the protein into drinking water or drinking something with Crystal Light, and alternate back to drinking, trying to get all the protein in. It was just a lot. Then taking the vitamins. I had the Bariatric Advantage vitamins. If you don't know them, they're like big, like horse peel vitamins. You take 2 of them, and they're chewable, and they taste like chalk, and they're just ugh. And then I also had the calcium chews from the Bariatric Advantage, and I could chew them and they would go down, but they would make me nauseous. So I talked to my doctor about that, and he told me to wait until I got on like at least soft foods to take the vitamins, because I probably wasn't going to be able to tolerate it right now. So that happened. And again, I had surgery on a Wednesday morning. I went back to work the following Tuesday. I did get approval from my doctor. He did say that it was okay because I didn't have a very strenuous job. I sat at a desk and made appointments for patients and refilled their prescriptions. So it wasn't anything that was strenuous. I sat at a computer and did my work all day. So he approved it, but because it was so hard for me to get my protein in, my energy level I would crash at about like 2 o'clock at my lunchtime, and I would go to my car and I would take a nap for an hour, and I could finish the remaining 4 hours of my shift that day. Here recently, my energy level hasn't been what it was, and I did talk to my doctor about it, and he did advise me to start taking additional B12 vitamins. So taking that, and that seems to help, and also taking some additional iron, and that does seem to help with my energy levels. The only other things after surgery that I didn't recognize and didn't realize that I was going to go through, I was so emotional. Like, and I'm not sure why. I was so emotional. Like, I would get on the scale and I would be feeling good, and then the next day I would get on the scale and it would be something totally different. And it would really, truly bother me, because I knew I was trying. I knew I was working out. I knew I just had this surgery. So, like, little things that shouldn't bother me really bothered me, especially when it came to my weight. But I just learned that it was a part of the process. Don't be obsessed with the scale and the numbers. Look at more of how your clothes start changing in the way that they fit. And that's what kind of helped me with that. Another thing I did not realize and was not expecting was my sex drive went through the roof. Like, I was concerned. I literally contacted my doctor and my nurse and was like, is this normal? Am I supposed to be feeling like this? Are these, like, does this happen to everybody? Because I went to every last one of those meetings. I went to every last one of those seminars. I was online. I'm in groups. I watched Facebook. And did nobody tell me about this? Like, it was so bad. Like, my sex drive went through the roof. And I was not expecting that. So that was another thing. They said it is totally normal. I guess that's why my doctor told me about getting birth control before I had the surgery, because I was going to be very fertile, is what he said. But he did not tell me that my hormones would be jumping like popcorn, but they were. But that was something I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting how whenever I went out to eat with my friends and my family, I didn't expect me not being able to eat that much to affect them. Like, the guy that I was talking to, we would go out to eat, and he literally said to me one day, because I asked him, was he hungry, and did he want to go grab something to eat before we went to a movie or somewhere we were going. And he was like, I'm tired of eating with you or eating around you, and you can't eat nothing. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah. What's the point of me going out to eat? I'll eat before, I come get you or something, but I'm tired of going out to eat with you and you can't eat nothing. So I didn't expect for it to bother him that much. And that was something that I wasn't expecting at all. Because, he's a slim guy. He's always told me, I support you in the surgery. I don't agree with it, but if that is what you want, or if that is going to make you happy, then it's fine. But I didn't expect that. Or my family or my friends would say, I don't even know why you come out to eat anymore. You just waste your money. And then I got to a point to where I would go out to eat, but I wouldn't order anything. I would just eat off their plate. Like, I'd tell them, hey, order this, you order this, you order this. And I would literally take a bite of everybody's food, and then I was done. So that was pre-op surgery and post-op for me. It was a pretty smooth process. It did take a while for me to be able to tolerate my protein those first few weeks, because it was very hard, because my stomach was still swollen. There wasn't a lot of room in there. But after like 2.5 weeks, then I could get my protein shakes down a lot faster, a lot smoother. And then, once I got on my full diet, I didn't know the sleeve full feeling. It took me one time to overeat. It took me one time and have to regurgitate. It took me one time. Once I learned that, I was good. And a lot of the things that I ate that I knew that I can't tolerate a lot of things with a lot of sugar. It makes me feel like it's like an annoying type pain in my stomach. And I'm like, oh, I can't eat that. That's too sweet. Like things like Propel water that's supposed to have 0 sugar, 0 anything. I can't drink that because there's some kind of artificial sweetener in there that makes my stomach hurt. Of course, let's say sugar, greasy stuff, fried food, the stuff that you're not supposed to have. The times that I've tried, it makes my stomach hurt. So it's not even worth it to go through that. And that helps a lot. So yeah, any questions, comments, concerns, you can always comment below and I will get back to you. I will answer anything that you want me to discuss or anything like that. Let me know and I will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, ask any questions, hit me up, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.